around the corner, I was still behind the branches, and he pinned us. I think he got our wind, because the wind's going right to him. The wind's going straight down. We got great wind here. Are you in a good, like, do you have good shooting range? Yeah. Because they're probably going to skirt. I might move down a little bit there. I'll get where you can see good, in case they go on the hillside. Stuff and move up, but we got a little bit of good wind here. See if we can get up in them there still. 4 or 5 poles. They must be bent up. That sucks. What's that? 88. 88. Are you going up? I'm staying there. I should be. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us in this year's Destination Elk V6 video series. And just a reminder, we've got new t-shirts designed that you can purchase right now at elk101.com/DEV6. They're made on the next level shirts, super comfortable, high quality, 2 color options available. This one I'm wearing, which is the green, and then we also have it in what's called the silk, which is just an off-white, kind of a grayish color. So you can buy these, probably my favorite design on any Destination Elk shirt that we've ever had. And you can get those right now, either by clicking the link that's right up here, or if you're not watching it on YouTube, just go to the description down below, click the link there. It's at elk101.com/DEV6.
This morning was absolute chaos. We dropped into a little basin and there were bulls screaming everywhere. We could see bulls everywhere too. So we dropped down to try and get below them, and before we could get below them, we had a bull screaming right below us. So we set up to call him in, and he kind of came around and got our wind and went quiet. Sounded like a really good bull. So we kept moving down and set up again. And this time we had good wind, and a little 5-point came running in. He was screaming, got like 4 yards of my dad. That was pretty cool. And we kind of moved up the canyon to get below some bulls, but the wind kind of switched on us, and I think they winded us, because then they moved up over the top of the canyon into the next canyon, so we followed them up and over. The wind was super finicky, kept swirling on us, so we couldn't drop into those bulls, so we just had to sit all day until the wind calmed down. He was a good bull. I couldn't tell. It was perfect. Did you see him whirl though? What? I was trying to decide whether or not to shoot him. You should have seen my finger. I was like inching it up, and I was like, I don't know. He whirled. I think it might have smoked him frontal. I don't know. This was probably one of the best weeks of my life. I have never heard so many bugles or seen so many elk. We saw quite a few big elk too. They were just hard to get in on. They were smart, used the wind, or they just didn't want to come in because they had cows. But man, it was super cool country, awesome experience. Got to be here with my dad and my buddy Parker, which was awesome. I don't think I'll ever be able to go on a hunt again like this. I hope I do, but this was just one of the coolest experiences that I've ever had elk hunting.
All right, I'm just going to say it. That lucky horseshoe is still firmly in place.
I'll agree with you on that one.
I walked up to him and I think he said something like, "I've always wanted to shoot a bull frontal." And I said, "You didn't shoot a bull frontal, you shot a bull broadside and hit it frontal."
Yep.
The bull whirled. I mean, the timing, it wasn't that he whirled at the shot or anything, just he whirled right when Isaac shot. And fortunately, the arrow just drilled him perfect, as if he had been frontal. So.
I was waiting a little bit too long before. I mean, you can see I waited a little too long before I shot.
Yeah, like 30 or 40 seconds. I was back behind and could see the bull. I could see where the bull was and where he'd stepped out, and I could see Isaac really well. And I saw him pull back again, and you know, last night he held his bow for 2 minutes on a bull, and so he's holding forever. I'm like, that bull is in the open. There's no obstruction. To his credit, he set up in front of the tree this time instead of behind it, so had a good shooting lane there. And he's holding back forever. And back there, I'm going, okay, he drew back and he doesn't want to let down and spook the bull, so John can get some footage of it, but he's not going to shoot it. And then the shot went off, and I saw the bull whirl right at the shot, and I thought, oh, this might not be good.
Yeah, wish you would have been able to see my finger, 'cause on the trigger, I kept going on the trigger and then back behind. I couldn't make up my mind.
So you were literally trying to decide whether or not to shoot.
Oh yeah, yep.
And what'd you think after you pulled the trigger? A little potential remorse?
Yeah.
I walked up, and it wasn't a typical, you shoot a nice bull and you're excited. Isaac was sitting on the ground and just kind of staring there. And
I was excited.
Yeah.
I was just, there was a lot to unpack there after the bull the night before. And
yep. And just not knowing with a shot like that where we had hit. And that's, we started tracking. There was zero blood. We did not find a drop of blood, and there were tracks everywhere, so it's kind of hard to distinguish. We went probably 30 yards and then kind of the trail split. And so I said, hey, instead of 4 of us traipsing around and disturbing everything, let me just go up ahead on the trail and see if I can find a drop of blood or make sure it's a track. And I went another, I don't know, 30 yards or so and could see the bull laying there dead and just thought, oh my goodness. But I didn't say anything. I just went back and said, hey, there's no tracks on this trail. Maybe take this trail and walk up it. And so I don't know if Isaac was at that. I mean, typically with a frontal shot, you're finding a lot of blood by this point. And so knowing that he hadn't hit it good and we weren't finding any blood, I can only imagine there was probably a little bit of a roller coaster ride there.
Yeah. It's like, well, the rest of this tag is going to be used tracking this bull.
Yeah.
And that's, but it wasn't.
Well, it was.
It was notched,
It was.
yeah.
Yeah, the rest of that time was spent finishing out the hunt. And the bull only went 50, maybe 60 yards and piled up right there without bleeding a drop. But it worked out. And I know, I think we talked that night, I think there's probably a little remorse maybe for shooting the bull just after the big wide bull the night before and kind of hearing as much bugling as we were hearing. I think probably a little bit of wishing held out for a bigger one.
I mean, that bull, any other, like an over-the-counter tag, I would have been so happy with him.
Yeah.
But I went into that hunt with a goal in mind, and when I didn't meet that goal, I was a little disappointed. I mean, so glad I shot one, so grateful for that experience. But I think next year when I draw that tag,
yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But I reminded him hiking out that night in the dark. It was quiet, you know. We got the bull all cut up and then left it there to pack out the next day. And I just said, hey, I know you're probably a little disappointed. It's not what you had in mind, but all the bugles we heard.
Oh yeah.
All the elk we saw, the getting to spend a week hunting together, you know, we haven't got to do that. That's with high school and everything, and now, you know, he's got a little bit more time to be able to hunt. And so being able to spend a week hunting together, the size of the bull you shoot doesn't define the hunt. And, you know, I think by the next day he was all smiles and excited. And I mean, like he said, on any other hunt he'd be excited to. On that hunt, he was excited too. It's the biggest bull that you shot with a bow.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe not with the rifle, but you know, that lucky horseshoe. And that goes back to his comment, we're packing it out, and he turned and said, I'll hold out for a bigger one when I draw the tag next year. So I probably don't need to remind him that it's less than 0.5% draw odds, because he drew it this time, and that lucky horseshoe is probably, I was going to say don't hold your breath, but then again, wouldn't surprise me if up with the tag again.
I'll be back.
So we'll be back.
Yeah. Yep.
It was pretty incredible hunt. That morning was, I don't know that I've ever experienced anything like that morning. So many bugles, and we were within 300 yards of all of them. A lot of them we were inside 100 yards, and they all sound like dinosaurs, just big, mature sounding bulls, very vocal, moving all over, chasing cows back and forth. And just to experience that was...
You called the one bull into, what, 4 yards from you? Yeah.
So Isaac and John had moved ahead and set up, and we could hear a bull off to our left coming in. He kept getting closer and closer, and so as the bull comes in, we kind of hunker down in the sagebrush, and all of a sudden he comes right between Isaac and me, and he got about 4 yards from me. I think he was 25 or 30 yards from Isaac.
Yeah,
20, 25.
It might have been 15. He was pretty close. I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Fortunately, he whirled and ran right back the way he'd come. But we saw another good bull on the hillside there.
Yeah.
Saw some pretty incredible things over the last 4 days of hunting a pretty special place. So.
Well, we saw the big bull again.
We did.
He was fighting off, what, 4 other bulls chasing his cows. That was cool to see.
The big wide bull. In fact, that's where we were moving in that evening when Isaac shot the bull that he shot. And the other interesting fact is the bull Isaac shot is one we called in the first night, several miles away. Exact same bull, and he came several miles. He went through several draws that had plenty of elk in them, and for whatever reason, the party was over there that night.
It's the one bull you were surprised at. I mean, you stopped that first night 3 times broadside within 30 yards.
Yeah, I mentioned I was surprised that you'd passed it up that first night.
Yeah. So
got his chance 4 nights later.
That bull just wanted to get shot, I guess.
It was his day.
Yep.
Pretty awesome and special opportunity getting to hunt together, and especially on a hunt like that. And
oh yeah.
We'll, I'm sure you'll be seeing more of Isaac in Destination Elk if he has his way and if his luck continues drawing tags like that. So we're heading home for a couple days and then right back to the exact same place for our Outfitters for Hope hunt. That's the unit that we get to conduct those hunts in. So we're going to be back in our next episode with Samuel for our Outfitters for Hope hunt. So we'll see you in that episode.
My name is Samuel Houts. I live in Altoona, Pennsylvania. I was diagnosed with leukemia.
You think about happening to other people, and it takes a while before it sinks in that this is your kid laying there fighting for his life.